Hello everyone. Today we will discuss 2D convolution by the use of systolic arrays. Systolic arrays are the arrays of processing elements. They are connected adjacently from left to right and from top to bottom, and the processing elements are capable of having additions, multiplications, or both additions and multiplication. We can also say that a processing element can perform single or multiple MAC operations at a time. So today we will see how can we use these systolic arrays for the purpose of systolic array implementation of 2D convolution. So what is 2D convolution? 2D convolution is simple like 1D correlation in 2 dimensions. If we have a matrix A and we are having a filter, they both are 2-dimensional. So we get the C output as follows. We just have to invert the matrix F like we do in the correlation, means F9, F8, F7 and so on, and we are having some patches of the A matrix, and these patches are dot multiplied by this F matrix one by one, and we obtain corresponding outputs of the convolution operation. So this is a symbol of the convolution operation, and this is the result of a valid type of convolution. We have 3 types of convolution, and we are discussing here only the valid case. We see what are the dimensions of the output. If we have input matrix A and we convolve it with the filter of 3 by 3, here we are convolving it with the 3 by 3 matrix, 3 by 3 filter, because the filter should be less than or equal to the input matrix, so therefore we are having here F as a 3 by 3 matrix. There are 3 ways of convolution. First is valid, another is same, and another is dilate, or we can also call this transposed convolution or deconvolution. So if we perform a convolution operation on the matrix A with the filter F, the output should have the dimensions depending upon the type of convolution we choose. So in this case, the input matrix is 5 by 5 and the filter is 3 by 3 and output is also 3 by 3. This is determined by this formula. The dimensions of output are equal to input dimensions minus filter dimensions and plus 2p divided by S. S is the stride and P is the padding, and padding is the, we can say, number of zeros we insert on across the input image, or we can say input matrix, and stride is the step that we take from the result of one convolution to the result of another convolution. So if we have P, in case of valid, padding is 0, or we can say padding is input minus K minus 2, and in the case of same convolution, we keep the outputs of output dimensions same as the input dimensions, and in case of dilate we increase the dimension of the input matrix. So for the simplicity, we just discuss about the first case of convolution, which is a valid. For your understanding, you can refer to YouTube or Google for the other type of convolutions like same and dilate, how they can be performed. I think you can also learn from this slides that how can you perform the same and dilate convolutions, because they are just similar. So 2D convolution, how 2D convolution is performed. The first step is you have to reverse the input filter, which is 3 by 3 in this case, and we are first replacing, or we can say reversing the rows of the input filter, and then we reverse the columns of the input filter, and we see that the whole of the filter is reversed because it is starting from in descending order. In the next step, we take this filter and we perform a simple element wise multiplication on the patches of input matrix A. So patch should be equal to the size of the filter size. So we then scroll this filter on the image in this pattern. Means we will start from the left, and we will keep on scrolling with the stride of S. If stride is 1, we will take one step, means one step of pixel from the left to right, and similarly from top to bottom we will also have the step of 1, 2, 3, so on, if we have the stride of 1. Otherwise we will have the step as regarded as directed by the stride. So here is 2D convolution using synchronic arrays. The first we are making the first patch of input image, which is composed of A01 to A13, these elements, and we just take these elements and we just convolve, or we can have element wise multiplication on them, and we are having the result of first element of the convolution matrix, output matrix. Similarly, for the next patch, we also perform matrix element wise multiplication with the filter, and similarly for the third patch we are having the same dot multiplication or matrix multiplication with the filter. We are having stride of 1, means we are shifting one column of pixels from left to right, and similarly if we are moving towards the next row, we are also having stride of 1, and we are taking the patches and we are just multiplying the patches with the input filter, element wise multiplying, and we are adding these outputs, or we can also say partial sums, and we are having these results as an output. So this is a basic example of 2D convolution. In case of other types of convolution, this is a valid convolution, valid type of convolution. If we are moving towards the same convolution type, we will just pad it with zeros, means we will pad this matrix with one layer of zeros on the whole box, and we will start convolving the input from this patch, and we will move it from left to right in this way. In this way we will add 2 dimensions to the output, and we will get 5 by 5 output. Similarly, in case of dilate, we will have double layer of zeros, means we will have 2 columns of zeros here and 2 rows of zeros here, and also 2 columns of zeros, and in the bottom we will also have 2 rows of zeros. So 2 layers of zeros will be covered in case of dilate, and we will start convolving on this this patch and we will move in the same way that as we have moved in the previous sections, or we can say previous types of applications or convolutions. So now we see how we convolve these convolution using the systolic arrays. So first we see we have C11, C12, C13. You can see that A01 is here, and similarly A02 and A02 is here repeated twice. Similarly A03 is repeated thrice. Similarly A04 is also repeated twice, and A05 is here. So we can see that data is dependent, means input use can be employed multiple of times. And similarly the filters, means the filter values F9 is used 3 times in the same column, and similarly in this column we are using input of the filter as 3 times. So we see some type of dependency between the data of the convolution which is from both sides, from the input and from the filters also. So we need some type of specific architecture which is like we have a systolic array which can exploit the dependency of this data to its maximum. So we are trying to port this convolution on systolic array, and we see how we can have better results. So suppose we have a systolic array. Here is our systolic array. The boxes here represent a processing element, and as we have seen in the previous video of matrix multiplication, that a processing element multiplies and adds a single value that is coming from top and coming from bottom and from left, and it multiplies with the I have to show you how. Where is that? Here is a sample of a processing element in which we have a filter value that is coming from the above in one clock cycle, which is known as T0 or T of n-1, and this value is just having this processing element is just having a register over here, and it is just forwarding the same value to the next processing element which is adjacent to this, and on the next time, means next clock cycle, this value will be here. Similarly, this input A is also passed through a register in some clock cycle, and it is this way is better to explain that this is domain of T1 and this is domain of T0. So after one clock cycle, F is moved downwards, A is moved forward, and the C is added by A multiplication of A and F. We have C is equals to multiplication of A and F and added to the previous value of C. So here we also see that F9 and A01 will be multiplied and will be moved forward on the next clock cycle. So here we see that A01 and F9 are multiplied, and in this simple case we are not supposing that we are adding the results. Means we don't have the adder in the processing element. Means C will be just multiplied, and we will get A and F, A multiplied by F as an output. So we have accumulator inside this processing element, which is adding one by one, or we can have a accumulator at the end of this space to add all the outputs that are coming out. So this is, we can say, a large processing element array, PE array, which is having all P's like these. So we have not shown PEs here and the connectivity just because they are the same as we have seen on the first slide. So what is the process of sending the data? We have a scratchpad memory of input data, and we arrange the data in this way to perform the convolution operation that we have seen in our mathematical section. So we will arrange the data in that manner, and we have a filter coming from the above, and we can also have many filters coming from the above if we have accumulators inside the processing element. So this is the first multiplication result, and it is moved forward, and similarly all the results are moving forward, and we are getting the processing at each clock cycle. We have done total convolutions, or we can say total convolution in 17 cycles. If we have adders at the end, if we put accumulator register at the end, we can have the output value.